Hello, everyone. Welcome to the newsletter, and let's start right away. So we're gonna start with ES as always, S&P 500 futures. I'm gonna start from the weekly, and we're gonna work our way down to the hourly and see kind of in zoom in and see where things are standing right now. Right off the bat, I see on the weekly. This is, I mean, it's a doji. It's indecision. It was a big sell-off Friday. Don't get me wrong. So as things stand right now, we have an impulsive weekly candle right here, and we have a lower high below all-time high. Those are the facts. That's what's going on. What I find interesting on these two candles is the volume right here. If you can see, there was the volume here was really not that great, yet it produced a gigantic green candle. I mean, the biggest in recent history that you can see down to here. Like, this is the biggest weekly candle, and it closed at the highs. Now, why is the volume important to me? Well, right off the bat, I can hear you saying, well, there's no volume, there's no conviction behind it, but it could be one of two things. Sure, there could be no conviction behind the buying here, but it also could mean it really took very little to push all this up because there are no sellers to fight. There are no sellers left to fight, so it was very easy to push this up. Another place where we can see this is here. This is kind of, I'm not saying this is how this is going to play out. I'm just saying keep in mind recent history. In recent history, I see this here. You see the volume is kind of low for this enormous push up. Whereas the next week, look at the candle. The candle much, much bigger in proportion, what people would call bear engulfing. You know, I don't care about those terms. I don't care about these patterns or candles or whatever. All I see is the selling candle much bigger than the buying candle and bigger volume. To me, all that means is the sellers are weak. This much volume and they still couldn't push it below the lows. They still couldn't break it down. Weak. That's kind of what I see here. We can't say for sure that's what's gonna happen, but that is kind of, I mean, if you see the same thing here, not a lot of volume, so buyers pushed it up easily. Higher volume here, sellers still not breaking any lows. Now let's go into the hourly. On the hourly, what I can see is right here is this is a drop, base drop. Got up to it, had a reaction, sold off, but then it got over it. That means what? This is right now new demand. So this is what we're gonna look for. This is new supply, 3473. Right here is the new supply. Another supply right here, 3500. I mean, just look at that candle. So supply, right here. I'm gonna chart it up. Demand. Now, if it falls below this, it's gonna go here, most likely. No promises. This is another impulsive candle, so it might catch a bounce. But the most interesting, in my opinion, the most interesting level right here is this 3400. That's the breakout. That's where price action broke out from you. So right here, struggling 1, 2, 3, 4 times struggling. That's where it broke out from. So this is a very important level, and it might trend to there. We can't say no. So if it goes under this, back tests it, and it can't get over, this is a very probable. It's a very probable area for a target to cover the shorts. Now, in what seemed like a pin around 3500, 3510 on Friday, we sold off down to 3460. Our Aunt Jim was warning us all day that this is gonna occur. SPY is gonna hit 347. It hit even 346 after hours. So now what we're seeing is SPY options are long puts down to 340, which coincides with this level for next week. So potentially there could be a further sell-off. If this happens, if this breaks, gets back tested, potentially this is a target for a short. And as far as dark pools, we have 357.93, 358 0.06 above, 346.77, 335, 330 below. It's kind of a stretch if we hit that 335, 330, but never say never. However, always play the technicals, and this is what I would be looking at if I was you. So from there on, we're gonna go into Apple, and let's start with the daily. So on the daily, gap still not closed, and as a matter of fact, Apple is still above this breakout. So that's an area where I would look for a back test. Also right here, as you can see, there is an RBR whereabouts in this area. And with iPhone sales coming this week and earnings around the corner, still sentiment, I suppose, is still bullish on Apple. We would expect. That isn't to say that it'll happen in October, and market makers along 125 for November 20th, earnings October 29th, so a slight run-up could occur, but puts are still long. Puts are still long, coinciding with the bearish sentiment on SPY and QQQ. There could be a pullback to 115 if Apple cannot hold 118. If it holds 118, 125, 130 is in play. Drop base drop right here. That's why it's sold off. So now it's just to see what's going to hold where. This is a potential price target should Apple fall below 118. As far as immediate levels, it's sitting right on top of demand. Supply right here. You can see it clearly. This is where the impulse began, as you can see. And then you have a clear drop base drop here, but that was already tested once. So 118 is kind of the line in the sand. If that breaks, then 115 becomes a real possibility. From then on, we go on to Amazon. Amazon, we're going to start with the weekly as well. Let me just take those out. So why did I have those marked? Easy. That is a weekly rally base rally right here on Amazon, and as you can see, there is a huge line of buyers just waiting there, but it already fired off. So we're gonna go into the hourly right here. If any of you guys remember, we had this as a rally base rally hourly. Now of course it didn't hold on this, but look at this. It is above that. So it is above right here, above the demand. As long as it can hold above this demand, most likely going back to 33.40 first. Look at this. This is a drop base drop right here. So the likelihood of going back to 33.40 is huge if this level holds. So during COVID, online shopping has exceeded significantly, and buying has in fact increased due to the social distancing aspect of online shopping. Market makers have taken a position and are still long Amazon 3,400 to 4,000 calls. Where it gets interesting is that the dark pools line up with the possibility of a 4,000 break on Amazon, and 3,500 as well. So let's see how it goes. This is the level to watch, big level to watch. This is the weekly down here, 3,100, 3,150, and right here another drop base drop. You can see it on the hourly very clearly. Dark pools, as far as dark pools above, we got 34.93.95, 34.96, 34.99, below 31.32, 31.08. Look at where the 31.32 and the 31.08 are around. Kind of it coincides with the demand. So that is a very big level to watch. After that, we're going to Facebook. So Facebook, let's remove this so you can chart along. Facebook. So starting off on the daily, just gonna start off on the daily. The reason those lines were there is this is a daily rally, base, rally right here. As you can see, Facebook is thus far holding above the breakout. So this is the breakout, boom, coincides with a rally, base, rally, thus far holding it. As long as it holds above this, there is still future for Facebook to run, lots of room to run, long as it holds there. Switch to 4 hours, you can see it very, very clearly here. This is where we picked up the calls on Friday, last Friday, for the run. Below this, there is this level right here at 260, 259, 260. So that could be a possible level where it might catch a bit as well. For now, it is above the breakout, but it is under this drop, base, drop supply. However, it already had a reaction once. So if sellers can't push it through here, potentially Facebook can run. It's a real coin flip. A lot of antitrust sanctions coming out. The FCC looking to break up big tech. There's virtually no dark pools below on Facebook, and indicating and kind of setting things up for a beat and a move up during earnings. But market makers do think that a sideways pin at 280 might occur. Option flow is showing December 18th, 280 calls shorted, while at the same time, December 18th, 280 puts are long. October 23rd option volume, however, is showing a possibility of a move up to 290, 230 with virtually no puts open. Risky ER, but overall looking possibly bullish to 290, 230 should these levels hold here at 259, 260. And from there on, a couple of freebies that just want to go over real quick that we talked about. Number one is, in closing, number one is DKNG. DKNG, see, this is the breakout right here. This is a rally base rally. As long as it holds 40, 38 to 40, bottom end, I really do believe this has the strength to get back up to 60 and over. As a matter of fact, a potential 100% run on the underlying should this level hold. Obvious daily drop, base, drop here, drop, base, drop here. So should you go long on leaps and this catches a bid, this is a nice hedge area right here for puts. Buy more should the trend continue, etc., etc. Another one is AMD. AMD, I already myself have an alert right here. So rally base rally right here on the daily. Should that not hold, very nice rally base rally right here at 67 to 69. This is a very potentially very good area to pick it up. Should that fail, I mean, look at this thing. It has rally base rallies all over, and this is the ultimate target. If this hits, I think this is a no-brainer buy. If this hits, earnings are coming up, anything is possible. It could get a haircut. So should this hit, I'm not saying it's going to, just saying this is a no-brainer buy right here. This and this level as well are good target levels for a buy, and that's about it. That's what we got. If you got any questions, please, as always, don't hesitate to reach out to anyone, and we'll see you on Monday.